Alright guys, a bit of a different setting today. We are in my shipping container. And what we're doing in my shipping container is I'm just going to show you kind of a bit of a plan and layout that I'm going to do in here, because I want to take the power stuff out of my shed just for dust reasons. I should be able to seal the container up a bit better than the shed is, because the shed's got a dirt floor at the moment. I'm in two minds whether I build a new shed over the top of this one, like a massive one, like 20 meters by 16 meters, huge shed. So obviously that requires a pile of money, so that's why I haven't done it yet. So it's kind of like a temporary shed, you know what I mean. Anyhow, I want to move my power gear from that shed into this container, because I also want to put a couple of fire sprinklers on the roof of the container, just as a safeguard. I'd hate to burn a car down as well as my shed. There's not much that could really travel from my shed if the shed burnt down. So something catastrophic went wrong, especially with the EV battery pack. As you guys know, I've got a lithium ion battery out of a Kia Niro EV. It's a 60 kilowatt hour battery or 62 kilowatt hour battery, and we've got that in 24 volt modules. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually use this rack for those modules. We're going to set 4 on each shelf. That one needs to be spaced down a little bit more. 4 on each shelf until we've got as many as we can string together with BMSs. And we're going to do buzz bars on the wall and go and get a all-in-one inverter and put it here. But I've also got a whole heap of 12 volt gear, and I really don't want to bother advertising it and messing with people to get it sold. So I have 3 lithium iron phosphate batteries. 2 of them are 120 amp hour, and then I've obviously got this 100. So we're going to put them in parallel and run this Victron Phoenix 1600. It's actually a multi-plus Phoenix, compact multi-plus. So this is the start of the Phoenix range. I bought this, it's defective. The transfer switch doesn't work, but the battery charger does. So I've got this cable here ready to put a plug on, so we can actually charge at 70 amps with this charger, which is a pretty good charge rate. 70 amps at 12 volts. It's probably hard to get a charger that will do that much power. So we're going to put, that's the output at the moment. We're going to put a outdoor power point on the container and an indoor power point on the container. So that needs to go over there to that. I had this laying around, and I figure no one's going to want a PWM charger anymore. But it is a 60 amp PWM. We're just going to use it for the random panels I have laying around, just to charge this bank. It's not going to hurt this bank. They're heaps bigger than any panels that are going to be on it. I got a heap of 160 watt panels. Let's go show you. I'll go show you. So I bought this pack of BP Solar 160s or 165s. The 165s. And I got 12 of these for the rich old sum of 250 bucks. So we're going to build an array on the container with them. It's only 1.6 kilowatts. Oh no, 1.9, something like that. It had a 1.6 kilowatt grid tie inverter on it, so these are still under warranty, surprisingly, from BP. They had a 25-year output guarantee. I have the purchase receipt for these panels. These panels, a little inverter, and the mounts. I've got all the mounts over there, the ones on that side. Mind the mess out here. Those ones there are the ones that came with it. I got it for 250 bucks. He paid 24,500 installed. So, and that was done in 2009. Very cool. I'll show you the purchase invoice if I get a chance. We've also bought some more 250s. So these ones I already had, but I got a 5 kilowatt arrays set up there of 250s. So I'm not sure if I've ever shown this array on camera. This is, sorry about the wind. This is a 3 kilowatt array. These are 250 watters. I basically mounted a furring channel all the way along the sheets, right in the joins of the sheets where it's strongest, and right in the top purling. They fit side by side pretty much perfectly. The one at the end's just not sitting up on its bracket. I ran out of brackets. As you can see, the mount up there are alright. I've got room. I'm considering whether an overhang's acceptable or whether I run a small sheet extension, and I can actually do a whole nother row. That'll give me 6 kilowatts up on this roof. Need to clean some of these. I'm currently not even using this half. I've only temporarily wired that half in. I've got to get a combiner box and a bunch of wiring goodies, so there's going to be a lot of solar stuff coming. Got the roof of the container over there. That faces west that way, and I'm thinking I'm going to either set that up for afternoon sun or face it east and get that morning sun. I don't know which one I prefer at the moment, because I have this wall and those towers, the ducts there, fume ducts that shadow these first few panels of a morning, and they will more so in winter. Now I might also put a car on a container there, my neighbour. Yeah, we'll clean up some of this mess and get some of these solar panels mounted to be sick. But I can potentially run these panels this way, but they're about 1.6 metres each, so I'm not going to get a great deal of them along this run. Whereas I could, with a small sheet extension, I could definitely get a lot more panels up on this roof. I can also do the other side of the roof if I made a tilt array. That wouldn't be an issue at all. I've got some up on the house as well that I don't actually use at the moment. They used to be on my lead acid battery pack. Let me take you and show you the solar panels we scored. So, that railing, a 5 kVA, what do you call it? Grid tie, grow watt, like we played with years ago on my channel. And 20 panels I got for $300. So there's another 20 panels. So in the container, obviously we need to do some shelving and rack some stuff up. But I'm going to run, hopefully I'm going to run my HVAC, which is just a through the wall air conditioner, which pulls about 900 watts when it's running. It's a Kaden unit. It's brand new. I only bought it this last winter, but it does hot and cold. It's relatively harsh on startup. I'm not sure if this one will run it. I haven't tried yet, but my 12 volt King's 3000 watt one definitely will. And when you get a few of these together, you've got 4.2 kilowatt hours of storage, so to run it for 4 hours pretty comfortably. I've also got a heap of lead acid I can put together. It can be connected to a different inverter if I want to. Yeah, lots of different setups. But the main reason for doing this is to get some of these expensive gear like the inverters out of the dust and dirt. And I'm in the shed sanding stuff, painting stuff. I just don't want the fans to start eating up dust and stuff. So getting a plan. I really like the way these hang. It's a smart inverter setup. So we need to put power points in and out of this shed. I'm going to stick a ground rod in for this shed. It's only sitting here it's only got a USB charger. That's all we've got on here at the moment. We haven't even connected up any of our multitude of cables. I don't remember if I told you guys, I think I bought this for $300. So it's a hell of a charger and a great inverter for that price. 1600 VA will do about 1400 watts pretty comfortably, and these things will do a fairly decent overrun. The shelves are screwed to the walls, so they're nice and sturdy. Once I stack these EV batteries in here, I've also got those two 6S EV batteries. I don't know if you remember seeing them. They are 120 amp hours, and I've got four 6S 120 amp hours, so I need to make something out of them. I'll probably go 7S with them, incorporate them into this, but we're potentially going to have like 60 kilowatt hours of usable battery on this side, and then we'll run all the power from the shed over here into my two. I've got a second one now. We've got the Fangpu Sun 150-70 charge controllers, which are Victron backdoor grey market charge controllers, with them mounted up there for thermal. I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll plasma cut a hole down the bottom, somewhere on the container, and then put a weather shield over the outside of it to make an air intake, and we'll put a panel filter, like a car air filter panel filter in it, and then we'll make a exhaust on the other side of the container, put 2 fire sprinklers in it over the top of the battery pack, just try and make it real safe, just automatic fire sprinklers like the old Mercury style ones, cheap, easy, run a big poly water main up here, and if something ever happens we can control a thermal runaway just by flooding the container essentially for safety. They're all going to be BMS. I've been running them for over a year now. They're fine. They'll put the BMS on them. They're within like millivolts of each other. They're very, very fine tolerances. They're working really well. So one of the potential things we can do with this 60 amp PWM is actually feed it a higher voltage, and we might be able to control the output of this battery bank when this one's full with all the big panels to charge this battery bank a lot faster. I also have a couple of generators that run on waste engine oil, and having a 70 amp charger here for that. And I've also got some 40 amp chargers we could probably charge this battery bank with. Just freeing ourselves of energy costs essentially. And what better to do with free energy than burn it to make money? So running compressors and things like that in the shed just for sun power, it's just great. We've paid very little for the solar panels that I've picked up. All the hardware that I've bought's cheap. I just need to pay some money and put some stuff together. I need a PV combiner box, the 2 charge controllers for the outputs, and a handful of BMSs, and then I'll buy a good 24 volt inverter, because I don't currently own a good 24 volt inverter. We need something with some good output, but yeah, everything you get out of the sun for little costs an absolute massive win. These lithium iron phosphate batteries are super safe, and that's what you need. I took a photo actually, I should just write the number down, the total kilowatt hours, but that charge controller has done 565 kilowatt hours total. So be interesting to see what we can put through that with just a random assortment of panels. Every hour they're in the sun, it's some more. Thanks for watching. I'll update you as I build stuff in here, and as we're setting up the car battery and BMS and that kind of thing. I'm debating on going a Atrium just so I can do telemetry. I need to run Wi-Fi up at here so I've got an access point for the shed and the container, and then I can do some monitoring, and probably put a webcam in here as well. You can get by webcams with temperature gauges in them and stuff like that, so we'll do that. But yeah, this battery's just been sitting here full today, so it doesn't even put any power into it. It still says it's on float. So yeah, that's what it is. You can buy these lithium iron phosphate batteries off eBay quite cheap. There's not a lot in them. There's just some prismatic cells, and power goes in and stays there until you use it. They're pretty simple. I see a lot of people buy expensive lithium iron phosphate batteries. The BMS is the determining difference, and maybe vibration dampening. In these style of installs, they just sit there. I'll update you guys as I make some more progress. For now, I'll catch you in the next video. And yeah, I got some work to do. Look at this mess. Plenty of wiring to put in. Catch you soon.